White House and Congress preparing to battle over the budget and tax reform. President Trump tweeting earlier today, the massive tax cuts reform that I've submitted is moving along in the process very well, actually ahead of schedule, big benefits to all. As the debate plays out, this op-ed in the Washington Post got our attention as well. It is titled, "Trump's Budget is a CEO's Budget. That's a Good Thing." It was written by Gene Marks, a CPA, a small business advocate, and a contributor to the Washington Post on small business and public policy. Joining me now, thank you so much for being here on this Memorial Day.
Thanks for having me, Molly. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day to you. What do you think when you look at this budget? You think it could be a good thing?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, it's funny, is with all in the week that it was released, there is all this yelling and screaming and this and but going back and forth on the media. Meanwhile, I mean, Molly, my clients, my readers, I speak to small and medium-sized businesses, even larger, companies as well. They're smiling. The people that run these companies, the CEOs of these organizations, the presidents. I mean, nobody is happy or doing a joyful dance at cuts in certain social programs or in education. I mean, nobody likes that either. But for the first time, we do have a president, and this is what I hear from my clients. We do have a president now that's a business guy, and he's in the White House. This is his first budget, and this is the kind of budget that a CEO would prepare.
Yeah, and Congress has yet to get their hands on this.
Yeah,
of course, the House and the Senate, right?
Yeah.
And we'll see what they do to it.
Sure.
But looking at this, so many businesses are excited about the possibility of tax reform. And
Right.
yet we see that, it was so close. Oh, maybe we'll see it this summer. Now it looks like it may not happen until next year. Where does that stand, and what could it mean for these small businesses that are watching?
Sure. So I write a lot about this for the Washington Post as well. I am not a believer that we're going to have sweeping tax reform. I think there are really too many differences that are going on right now, both in the House and in the Senate. But there are certain key parts of the tax reform bill, I think, that we are going to see this year. The biggest one is the one that makes business owners' eyes light up, and that's just a reduction in the corporate tax. I mean, right now, the U.S. corporate tax rate at 35% is among the highest in the world. So President Trump is proposing to reduce that to 15%. Paul Ryan is more like, I think more like 20% sounds right. But the big deal, Molly, for people like me running a business, is now we potentially have a reduction in pass-through taxes, which means that I file an S corporation return, all the income comes on my individual tax return. Now those rates might go down as well to as little as 15 to 20%. So I am predicting, if you're a small business owner, or if you're running a company, you are going to be seeing some corporate tax relief this year.
One of the things that's caught a lot of attention, and it may be where the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, makes her mark, is paid family leave.
Yeah.
And that can be a challenge for businesses. Certainly for American women across the country, having a baby, being able to care for that baby, it's a big challenge. What does it mean for small businesses?
Well, I'm going to share with you some of the paid time leave policies, and I'm warning you, if I do, you may want to leave Fox News and join some of these companies. Like Netflix offers unlimited.
I think I'm going to stick around.
Yeah, well, it's a year's paid time off for new parents, both either spouse. LinkedIn offers unlimited paid time off, and they're not alone. So it is an area right now where, look, 50%, just about 50% of employees today are part of the millennial generation, the 18 to 34-year-old age group. That's
what's driving this?
That's what's driving this. They make up half of the workforce, and paid time off is a huge, huge deal for this generation, like it or not. So a lot of companies are doing that, and a lot of small businesses, we have to respond in some well. So for the government to offer, I think they're proposing, Ivanka's plan is 6 weeks paid time leave in addition to the 12 weeks unpaid leave funded through unemployment insurance. That would be a big help to a lot of small businesses. Now, whether or not Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell like that, it really does have a big impact on the entitlement state. That still remains to be seen.
And we will see what Congress does. Gene, thank you for joining us here on this Memorial Day.
Thanks, Molly. Thank you.
Leland?